Hey everybody, it's 10,000 Minutes Podcast.
Pretty good at that. No.
Hey everybody, it's a 10,000 Minutes Podcast. No. Okay, everybody, season 2 has begun for the 10,000 Minute Podcast. I'm your host, Timothy Howard Timmons. To my sweet right, sweet Amoy Donice.
Hi, everybody.
And to my left, we've got Christopher Cleveland.
Yo!
Who just put out a new song.
Let's go.
Recently.
Yes.
Fire.
Yeah, the songs are
So
coming
good.
out.
Yeah.
And there'll be a record, and it's all happening.
I love it. So the stars go dim.
They still, I guess, are. But I feel like they really blow up. I was thinking
Are they
about
going
this.
dimmer? Everybody, just so you know, if you're not savvy to this, Chris has a band
Yes.
that's called Stars Go Dim, and I feel like are they getting dimmer?
I feel
Or
like
is it-
stars blow up, but I don't really know. Band names are dumb.
Oh, that's right.
And
You don't like band
this one
names.
came up when I was like, what, 22? Mm-hmm. I'm almost 37 now.
Yeah.
Never in life did I think I would still be in a band called Stars Go Dim.
Yeah.
When I've got kids that could be in bands almost at this point. So
Yeah.
it's weird, but
We're doing great.
we're doing great. Season 2. Oh
Moy,
my gosh.
Moy, you've been doing some music lately as well.
I have a little bit.
Yeah,
I've been writing
you guys,
a lot.
and for you older people,
Oh, yeah.
older than us. I mean, I'm 26. You're
Oh,
Well,
my gosh.
I misspoke a little earlier. Yeah, I'm like 23.
Yeah.
Math has never been your strong suit. No, sorry, guys.
Moy streams her music.
Yes, she does.
Which is, and
do.
you're all thinking, oh, Spotify and that kind of thing. No, this
No.
is like Twitch and words that you think are cuss words.
Yeah,
But they're not.
They're
That's-
not.
they feel like they need ointments.
wait. Huh? What do you got going
I've
on?
got like
And
a-
can we
No.
pray for you
Yeah, I think
after
we'll cut,
this episode?
cut right there. Let's cut right there.
Yeah. I think that was worse than
When,
my
yeah,
issue left.
yeah, when ointments come out.
Ticks and twitches. I don't know what happens. I'm not sure.
A memoir.
Anywho, it is good to be back together.
It's good to be back.
It's so nice.
And we have a really fun season coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to be talking about in this next season, we're going to be talking to a bunch of different experts in all these different areas, and in all the areas. So we're focusing on 5 specific areas, right?
Right.
I've said areas now 17 times.
Again, math.
What are
not
those
our strong
areas?
suits. Not
What are those areas going to be, Tim?
Thanks for asking, Chris. We're going to be diving into relational stuff, which is, from parenting, experts on parenting, to marriage, to friendship, to all the things.
Love it.
Going into health,
Ooh.
Right.
is all physical, which is mental, which is emotional, which is all that stuff. These are all areas.
Yes.
Right.
Area equals pi equals
Pi
length.
r squared?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Then we're
Whitney.
also
Was that
diving
right? I don't know.
into
I feel like that's volume.
into work, right?
Finances.
Finances and work. Like, what does it look like for us to actually
Ooh.
practice the way of Jesus, join Jesus in our work, relationships, health? Because we're so good at hearing these messages on our weekend gatherings, which is great.
Yep.
We're hearing our little devotionals, but it's like putting it into practice that
does
is
it
the
mean in
difference.
Yeah.
So anyway, then it'll be into work and finances, that kind of stuff, experts in that.
Cultural issues.
Cultural issues, we're going to dive into
Yep.
some of that.
Which is exciting because I think it's easy to have opinions. So it'll be fun to have an expert
Yeah.
kind of break down the
Love it.
things that are happening every day.
Yeah.
Not just somebody's like thought or
Totally.
view. So that's going to help us navigate
Where are we getting
real-time
those experts?
things.
Just Facebook? Like random?
Yeah. Just
Yeah, there's a group called Experts.
Okay, great.
We've just
Perfect.
emailed all of them.
and what I love too is hopefully as you're listening, as we are in this, we're curious, and we're not just jumping to resolutions of this is what I've always known, this is what I think,
Right.
but like, I wonder if there's something else going on here. And Jesus, how do I join you even in the curiosity?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Was that 5 or is that 4?
That's 4.
That's 4.
That's 4 areas, Chris.
Okay. What is the
Area
last
equals-
5th?
Thanks for asking, Chris.
Yeah. Area.
5th area is spiritual aiming. So it's just a lot. I mean, I feel like our whole last season was a lot of spiritual aiming.
Yeah.
It's just,
Right.
it's just, what does it look like to really see Jesus in the midst of our normal everyday lives? But I think we want to get a little more specific because this past season, one of our biggest episodes, both of them was my mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
has she been bragging like at family
She-
get-togethers? and
it's a little
stuff?
awkward.
Is it in
Yeah.
her Instagram bio?
Yeah.
She's
now?
like, Timothy,
Yeah.
just wanted to let you know I've seen the
Yeah.
streaming numbers.
Yeah. Can you get me some some soda pop? I'm like, Mom, I'm busy. I'm kind of the biggest one in your,
Yeah, definitely.
She's a little arrogant like that.
Is
She's
she?
always,
Well.
no, that is like the antithesis of my mom. She's like, how can I serve you? Can I serve you?
No, she's the best.
That's what
So-
she did when she was here. She served up some
She did
wisdom.
serve up some stuff on
Listen,
grief.
Yes.
So I thought we could just talk a little bit about just a few of the areas. Thank
Oh,
you.
boy.
That in a few of the podcasts and a few of the concepts that we've been kind of talking about, even just as friends,
Yeah.
through this time. Anything
Yes.
pop out to you as things that you've just been practicing or
I
more aware of?
literally have not been able to get away from and literally have conversations about it all the time is blessing. It's
Oh
one
my
of the
gosh.
one of the first podcasts I feel like series that we did. And man, this concept I never understood in life growing up, reading the Bible, doing all these things. And I'd see these scriptures that were like, bless the Lord and all these things. And I always had this idea in my head of like, well, what do I have to bring God? You know, and the way that we learned about this process of blessing being this process of being made whole or holy or speaking out like what's already there.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just changed so much about how I viewed that and how I see it, and then how I see that happening around me. It was really incredible.
Totally. That was so as we were rethinking things last season.
Yep.
By the way, if you want to go back, that was 004 to 007 was our little series on rethinking blessing, #blessed. Yeah, actually, I was just talking with a friend. I'm with you. I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Even I've been thinking about blessing my enemies, and it's even gotten to a deeper level, even from that point when we were talking about it before, when we talked about blessing your enemies. That blessing my enemies isn't just praying that they'll have financial gain. Because that feels a little
Right.
weird. Like the people that really, like I've got a friend right now who has been majorly attacked online.
Yeah.
Like majorly attacked online. And I mean, just in this terrible, terrible way that's so wrong. And as we've been talking about blessing our enemies, it's not just for him to bless this person, saying, God, please bring them a lot of money and good success in their business. And
Right.
it's literally praying wholeness over that person.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I'm actually wanting, God, I'm praying for wholeness for this person that is totally bashing me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how to do that other than, yeah, I that got me.
I'm still thinking about how Carlos said he doesn't believe he has enemies. Like, I think it'd be cool to do an episode on what even an enemy is. Is that like our point of view of something that's attacking us or an actual evil? Because Carlos he didn't feel like he had enemies, and he felt like his mission was to create bridges, and that was the way he
Yeah.
blessed people. And I was like, man, you get a lot of hate mail. You get a lot of, scary interactions with people who want for you to stop, and you don't see them in an enemy way. So I remember those episodes kind of rocked me, and I was like, man, I think there's something there. Like I think I talked to you, Tim, about the idea of like not knowing how to be rebuked in our culture, and how like Jesus rebuked Satan but not Peter, and how like we don't know how to sometimes differentiate or separate those things and still love and honor like the heart of Jesus and love the person who's not aligned to it.
Yeah.
So that episode has made me think a lot about that
Yeah.
lately. Just like
Carlos lives that.
Yeah.
So that was such a great conversation.
he's so good at like you and I, like I'm not against you,
Yeah.
but whatever's happening here is not aligned.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, how do we? That's just been haunting me. Just been thinking about that lately.
Well, that's like when Dallas Willard talks about if I could actually seek first the kingdom of God and not my own, because ultimately when I'm being hurt or persecuted or I have an enemy, it's they're threatening my kingdom. So his thing, Willard's thing, is like you could live an unoffendable life.
Right.
If my focus was, okay, it's not about me or my kingdom today.
Yeah.
It's actually about the kingdom of God. I mean, that's kind of how Carlos is doing that.
Yep. Still trying to recover from Dave Gibbons.
Oh, Dave Gibbons.
Little trip over to the podcast.
That was 25. Everybody, 0.25.
That guy
Dave
could probably,
Gibbons.
if he got an 800 number, he can make some money. You know what I mean? Like,
It's too real. Destroyed. I still catch myself. I think it's a thing I think about all the time. Like, how am I currently hiding and not speaking up?
So explain what happened.
So Dave comes through
Yeah.
to talk about work
Yeah.
and the ways we could show up and be aligned with Jesus in our work. And he said some amazing things.
Yeah.
And it truly was like, there's no separating work and church and Jesus. And it's about being fully present. And it's not really a gift to be intentional with people when you're talking to them. It's just listening.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yes. It's like a spiritual. It's not a spiritual gift.
Yes.
He was saying.
It wasn't like certain people have this. It's just, you might get it wrong, but listen and read body language.
Yeah.
Read how people are showing up. And then he just paused and like came at me.
He
Okay.
did.
Dave Gibbons.
And everybody, to at this point, Dave is he's genius. I mean,
Yes.
he's worked
This
with
was
all
also
these.
over Zoom.
Yes.
Over Zoom.
It was
Yeah.
over
Yep.
Zoom.
Yeah.
And Moy had not. I mean, you had not said a word. I mean,
I was
you
having a day.
You laughed maybe a few times, but that was it.
Yeah.
And I hate that I am an Enneagram 1 because I dropped to my 4 and it's obvious that I am the most emo kid. I'm just going to have dashboard confessional on all day. And I was like, man, I'm trying really hard to shake out of it, but I feel like the weakest one. I feel, all the things.
Yeah.
And then Dave just was in the most gentle way, just read me.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet, this is going to stay in the episode. I just know it. And just told me like things that I hadn't told people in a long time. Like you write and you haven't been writing. You don't speak up and you have things to say. And in your childhood and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yes, all of those things are true.
Oh,
Yeah.
my.
And I still catch myself with streaming. Some days I'm like, I'm just never going to do it again. I just want to hide. And I'm like, yeah, Dave is right. No one's asking me to hide, but I have this need to do it, to like beat people to the punch.
Yeah.
And so I've just started to realize like I am my own obstacle.
I'm going to get a picture of Dave and print it. So you can put it on your wall and with just like a quote that says, you can do it,
You can do
This
it.
would be great.
With the smallest print though, because that's how gentle he is.
Yeah.
You can do it.
And you've got to get real close to see it.
Yeah.
Squint a little bit.
So that episode, and it's helped me to really listen to my friends. Like, what are they saying right now? What is their body language telling me right now? It's just, it's kind of rocked my world, but I've been very self-aware. And I think we're always constantly trying to self-improve. But this is the first time I feel like I'm doing the work. I'm trying really hard to show up and not hide because I'm so aware that that's what my tendency is on most days.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah, that
Dave,
was.
thank you. I hope you're having a great day today. I'm having an awesome one. Being so aware of my flaws.
That's amazing.
And then he came and did that right
He did
to
it
you.
to me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a punk. He just came at me. One of the things I noticed over the last year, and this is just for me, and hopefully our listeners felt this too, and it's still happening every day. Like I was so formed by this last season, and we just talked through like off mic all of these episodes and all the guests that we had on. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, 31 episodes.
Yeah.
And like as we're sitting here and we do these interviews, you don't realize how much of it sinks in, and then all of a sudden all my conversations are about the things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I felt, and I feel like this has to be connected. Like I've felt the most peace. I've felt like the most self-confidence, the most like I don't know, there's just been an ease, I think, to life, like doing this with you guys and like and gaining maybe some wisdom from some of these people. So it's been a pleasure to do this, and I'm pumped about what we've got coming up.
Yeah. I'm with you. I remember I told you guys before Dave, we did that thing with Dave, that what he had basically done that with my family.
Yep.
With a
Oh,
few of our
right.
families. I'm like, you guys, he just basically read everybody's mail and then just like really invited us into a bigger life.
Yeah.
And it was just so bizarre. I think he'll have some cool things to say on business.
Yeah,
then he just,
on the side, you know.
yeah, we had like tears at the end. It was so good. But yeah, I think he has a specific gift in. I know he's practiced it a lot, and I think he has a specific gift. But what I learned through that is because I've seen him do that a few times now. I want that gift so bad to be able to just like look at somebody and go, okay, here's what you're dealing with. I mean, it's like voodoo. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And yet I have my own gifts.
That's right.
And I think that was actually really helpful for me to watch him do that with you and go, oh gosh, I want that gift so bad. But honestly, it's helped me kind of go, okay, no, I want to be more intentional about listening and seeing people with Jesus's eyes. So it's like more me asking the question of Jesus, I want to see people through your eyes, but I'm going to see them and tell them different things than Dave would say. And I think after that podcast, I was like, okay, I am who God created.
Yeah.
And it's not for me. So it's not for me to have this cool gift. It's for everybody else. Just like Dave's gift is not for him, it's for everybody else.
Right.
And so what is the gift that God gave me? And so I've been really trying to think through that, I think a lot after that podcast specifically.
Yeah.
Just how you show up.
Yeah. And I think mine's good looks.
Obviously.
I just think it's just walking into a room.
Right.
And when you're this good looking.
We're going to have experts this season, so we'll get to ask them what they really think.
Narcissist experts.
Also, way more video this season, so people are going to be able to fact check.
You say fat check?
Fact.
All I heard people was fat check, and I went straight back to my childhood because I was husky.
I was too.
Yeah, and so you basically.
I remember 6th grade thinking, I got to grow out of this. One day it's going to come.
So tough. So tough.
So
Puka
we'll be
shell
fat
necklaces.
checking, which is fact checking.
Fact checking.
JK.
Rough.
I think I've had a different compassion, and this sounds weird, for people that are in the middle of hating themselves. So we had talked with Kelsey, a lot about the suicide stuff, and I think I just had. I've always, obviously, it's like what human doesn't have compassion for somebody who's in those places, but I think my compassion level just grew.
Yep.
To a different level. So it wasn't just. I don't know. I didn't know what to say about that. I've been more aware, and when I think of and I hear those stories, because I hear them all the time.
Right.
And we've had them in our area, in our friend group, and I think I've had more encouragement from listening to Kelsey's story and just had a little bit more awareness and compassion.
Yeah, she came and was just threw it all on the table. Was so honest, and that episode was great. I felt like. I remember sitting there and you, Moy, and her just kept going back and forth. And I was like, I'd have something to say and then you guys would say it. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to sit back and like enjoy this because it was so good.
Yeah, it's hard to see someone else that you like understand their pain in a sense. And not similar stories, but similar wounds. And so it's just interesting to sit with Kelsey and be like, yes, I know what that feels like. Totally know what it feels like. And the reality of also how many women experience that.
Yeah.
Like my roommate and I were watching the Tinder Swindler. We're not sponsored.
Yes.
It's not sponsored. We don't have ads yet. We don't
We
have
watched
ads
that
yet.
the other day.
In the beginning of the series, you're just kind of like, oh, these women. Like, hello, use your brain, right?
Yeah.
But by the end of it, you're like, this is so awful. How many times do we think that? Like, don't be in a situation like that. Don't, whatever. But really, it's just a reflection of what we think we're worth, who we feel safe with. It's a bigger picture thing. And these women truly are like, I was done with my life because I was so embarrassed with my situation and all the things. It made me think of Kelsey. It made me think of like the moments I've been too scared to tell people how embarrassed I am in a situation that I'm in. But really, how desperately they need people in that moment. But the fear of shame, and how that kind of sticks to your identity. And you're just like, I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to be another person who fell for something that was bad. Or who just like woke up and realized this isn't healthy. But I think it started to change my view from how do people avoid things to how do we walk with people who are stuck in things. And like because we do want to avoid situations, but the reality is that's just not, always the case. So with Kelsey, I'm like, okay, instead of walking with a friend, like, this is how you can avoid it next time. It's more of like, I'm just going to walk with you because this is your season right now. And we're just going to figure it out.
Yeah.
But there's no need to tell you what you shouldn't have done because that's your journey or what, or whatever happened. But just learning how to show up for people instead of trying to undo or like avoid it again.
Yeah. There were so many times, I think, during the season, at least for me, and then I feel like I saw it a lot. There were like the me too kind of things, and which led to another thing that I felt like I saw so many times in like this idea that I feel like kind of circled a lot of the podcasts that we did, was this idea of like community and faith and life and all of these things. Like, we all need to do this together. And that seemed like a theme that kind of wove its way through almost every episode, when people would come back to like their community and finding that safe space. And that was something that really stuck out to me, how important, and maybe it's coming out of the season that we'd been in of pandemic and all of us being so isolated.
Yeah.
But how important community was for almost everybody that came on. We probably touched on it in some way.
Yeah. Moy, how do people, if they wanted to share some of these things with us, what would they do? I mean, they can go to socials.
Yeah, they can go to our socials. On Instagram, we are at 10K minutes.
Yep.
And they can DM us as much as they want.
That means like send a little response, a
It
little
needs
message.
direct message.
Yeah, but I just would love to hear other people's stories.
Yes, yes.
Is there an email, people?
Yes, they can email us at, I think it's mail@10,000minutes.com.
Yeah, do that, or else we'll make mail at 10,000
Yeah,
minutes.
or we'll make one and we'll get back to you. But if not, we're on our socials for sure.
Yeah.
So feel free to search 10,000 minutes and you'll find us.
So one of our last ones was on thanks. It was Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And Moy, you kind of dropped.
My bad, guys.
You dropped it that time, and I think the stuff that you talked about really harkened back to all the past ones. So for me, I've been having a bunch of hospitalizations and all that crap lately, and it sucked.
Yeah.
And in all that, people are always asking, so how you doing? And I think I've normally, because it's kind of true, I'm like, well, this sucks, and I'm doing great. And there's always but I'm okay. And I think I've been trying to be more aware of just saying it kind of sucks. And I'm trying to grieve better.
Yeah.
And I think that was throughout our whole season.
Yes.
But I'm really trying to grieve better and not just have the bow at the end.
Yes.
So that I feel better, that other people feel better. And it's actually kind of true. Like I actually am okay right now. I'm not, totally sad and depressed and sure, these things have sucked, and I'm doing fine, and I'm thankful today. I woke up again today, which is all great. But there really has been, since you zeroed in with my mom on permission to grieve,
Yeah.
I've been trying to sit in grieving longer than I normally would, which has been so good and hard for me to do.
What do you feel like has come out of that?
Look at you, Moy.
Sorry. Just, need to know for myself as well.
Supposed to be a little more lighthearted than this.
What has come out of that? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like sitting longer periods of time in your grief.
Yeah, that's not a normal thing for me to do. So I think it's slowing me down a little bit.
Okay.
It's slowing me down. It's also, I don't know how other people feel in those moments, because if I just leave it there, I feel like people are gonna go, oh gosh, and all of a sudden come to my rescue and try to hold me through it. And I'm like, well, and that's what I never want. I'm like, I don't want to go there because I don't really need you to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I've just, I don't know what I've learned through it or what you just asked. What did you just ask?
Like, what's come out of you sitting in your grief?
Probably more awareness of it. And I'm sure I'm healthier on the other side of it.
Because I know that's a piece for me where I'm like, man, don't worry about it. Nobody else worry about it. It's not that bad. Or if it is, I'm figuring it out. But I think sitting in your grief allows other people to sit in it too and learn how to handle someone who's grieving and is not at their level 10 or top game. For me, it was a trigger to not be in my Enneagram 7 and show up and be like, the clown. One of the most recent things, my roommate is a mini Dave Gibbons, and she'll just drop bombs, So we went to go hang out. We call it VIP night with the cousins, but no one's VIP. They're just cousins. And when we left, I was tired, and she's like, "You're kind of always on the clock with your cousins." And I was like, "No, that's like when I'm my most self." She's like, "Yeah, but you're on the clock. Like it wears you out because you are playing a part." She's like, have you ever just been with them when you're not on the clock or when you're on a day you're grieving?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I hide those days. And so I was just wondering like what that's been doing for you, just being in days where you're like, I'm not the Tim everyone's excited to be around today because I'm processing a certain loss.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably, I don't know if it's for other people. It's been just so internal for me, just for me to slow down and engage in the grief of something. Because that's just not what I normally do. Yeah. Some people are really good at that and live in those places and need to actually be saying, okay, what am I thankful for today? Like they actually need that.
Yes.
But I actually need the opposite, just with how I've lived my life.
Yeah.
So that's been really helpful.
That's great, Tim.
Yeah.
It's awful, the things that you've had to go through.
Yeah.
But it's awesome that you're honoring reality. Like this is my present day. This is what has my attention today.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of what has my attention, I mean, that'll be one of the questions, and that is one of the main questions we've basically asked all last season. And this next season is really asking that question over and over and over.
Yes, we're leaning in hard.
What has your attention? And what's stealing your attention in all these areas, in relational, in health, mental health, in physical stuff.
Right.
At work, what's stealing your attention? So I'm really excited about that.
And maybe it's not stealing. What is it saying?
What's it revealing? What's your attention revealing? It's good.
There's an author who's like, pain's not the enemy. It's just the messenger. Like sometimes there are things showing you something about you.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to ask experts, like, what has your attention? Like, what are you still curious about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be so good for us
Totally.
to leave with more questions and more need, like a bigger need to lean on the Spirit to really like understand ourselves and us aligning with Jesus.
So, hey, people, if you have people that you want us to interview, you think this person would be great, let us know who those people are. A.
Yes.
2, if you have a new headband for Chris.
I'll take plenty. Yeah. It's going to be great.
I'm jealous. Maybe I'll wear one next
Will
week.
you?
We should
I'll
totally
just shave
switch it.
my head
Guys, I
and
don't
you
look
get
good
a
in
headband.
headbands. I'm just going to let you know right now. No, I'm not doing it.
I think you look super cute.
I tried to do it once on stream and I was like, never again.
It didn't work?
It didn't work.
You know what?
Twitch. You got twitched.
The chat was nice, but I was like, all of you are against me. I'm never doing this again. All of you lied to me.
Let's just dive into a few 10,000 thoughts.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so for you nerds, 90s. Go.
90s?
90s.
90s, like the years.
Yes. Or if you're 90s, 90 years old.
Yeah. I mean,
I want to get there.
Already seeing different angles, and I love it. Okay.
I spent a decade in it.
That's all you got?
How do I beat that?
Yeah.
That's true. I also did.
Were you born in the 90s?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I was born in the 80s. Okay.
Are you,
But
what
80,
year
what,
are you?
89?
89. Guys,
Oh my
but I made
gosh.
the cut. Okay.
You did make the
best part
cut.
is that I was in another meeting last week and someone was like, yeah, that happened in 96. You weren't born then. And I was like 6, 7 years old by then.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. No,
I do feel like you're younger for some reason than.
I told them it was the lotions and the lack of growth. So, I'm immature.
Maybe it's like the
and
joyful spirit. I'm going to go
I
with that.
recommend Olay. It's
it's
both
gonna
of
be
those things together.
So my son they had that school, they had this like 50s dress up day this week. And so I have my Letterman's jacket still.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's go.
Who do people even do that anymore?
I think they're like really designer now and cost like $1,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, mine was like
Yeah.
150 and I was dying back then.
Jostens or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
So my son wore my Letterman jacket. It is for 50s, but it says
Yeah.
94 on the
Oh,
shoulder.
nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Because that was the year I was born.
Yeah,
So
that's the
'Cause
year
I'm
you put
older
on the
than Tim,
Letterman jacket.
yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. A favorite show ever.
Favorite show
Or
ever?
one of them. Go.
Okay, my current favorite show is School of Chocolate. Have you guys seen that show?
Yes, my son's obsessed with it.
Oh,
That guy makes the craziest things.
My goodness. Okay, but his heart, Chris.
Con
His
chocolate.
heart. Chocolate, that's true.
with chocolate.
No, it's this series where these chefs are competing to be part of his like master class, okay? But on week 1,
Yeah.
you know, 2 of them are bottom 2, right? And so you're like, they get cut. That sucks. No, they get one-on-one time with him to improve and get better at their craft and feel more prepared for next week. Like, there's no cutting. There's no giving up. He's rooting for the underdogs. He's available for whenever people need him. Like, there's no, like, prove to me you deserve this spot. It's like...
And he's also making ridiculous things out of chocolate.
No, crazy things.
Yeah.
Sounds like the Bob Goff of chocolate making.
It's
Could be.
amazing.
Yeah.
He might be French or something. He's
Yes.
got some sort of accent.
So
Bob
we're,
Goff.
I'm in a server on
We
Discord.
need to have him on our
and we
podcast.
co-work.
Everybody, she just said she's on a server on
boy.
Discord.
Here we go. Here we go. Yes.
That means.
I need to just make like a vocabulary.
Totally.
Just
Yeah.
like a cheat
So back to
sheets.
the server.
Back to the server.
On Twitch cord.
We a group of us co-work together on Wednesdays and watch it.
Obviously, you co-work.
And it's
Oh, you're working.
yeah,
and
like
you're watching.
everybody's muted, but we watch it, and everyone's working like on their own stuff. But we love this show, and it's so like it's inspirational, you know.
It's good.
But anyways, that's my current fave. I recommend, again, not sponsored yet by Netflix, you know. So
I think mine's Arrested Development. I just can't. I can't get around it. It's so good.
I like it.
It's in my hometown. It's like he's so funny and it's so inappropriate and so good.
We just watched the Curb Your Enthusiasm whole series,
so
and
good.
now I only see my life through the lens of Larry David. And
That's a scary
I
thing.
think that I'm like a lot like him, and Kenzie's like, well, I don't know, you know. But it's like every scenario feels ironic to me. Like there's just nothing I'm not commenting on now, and I'm pretty in love with that show. Yeah, It's most recent.
Okay, last one. Ooh, that's a cool question, but we won't do that. We'll just do this. Pet peeves, go.
I have many.
And by the way, before we go, every time I'm at Costco or anytime anybody talks about Chewies, the little gummy things, not gummies, California gummies, but like
Different.
the things you're addicted to.
Oh,
Fruit snacks.
I'm not trying to point you out and
No, it's
call out
fine.
your
Call me.
addiction.
I haven't had a fruit,
Wow.
guys. I haven't had a fruit snack in over a month.
Slow clap.
Cold
Chris.
turkey,
Slow
baby.
clap.
Chris,
Cold freaking turkey.
buddy, say hi. My name's Chris.
Hey, my name is Chris, and I am addicted to Welch's fruit
Yeah.
snacks.
But you're clean for
But
a
I'm
month.
clean for like 6 weeks.
Because
Oh
they're
my
out of
gosh.
stock. Or
Yeah.
out
No,
of
they're in the
choice?
house.
Oh.
You just got to.
I have it's a thing.
Dang. Well,
Willpower
I picked
is
up
happening.
an addiction to gummy
Did
bears.
you?
You did?
Yes, I
Congrats.
did. Thank you so much. Yeah.
To gummy bears or to chewy? What are they called?
No, gummy bears.
Fruit snacks.
The fruit snacks, no, gummy bears.
Gummy
They're
bears.
worse. But anyways, we've
The
traded
like
spots.
the Hasbro's or is
Yes,
that
and then they also have the Targets, like it starts with an A.
I don't know what color bag are
It's
they in?
white. It's got like a red.
They're like the Target brand.
I don't know, but
Could be.
super yummy. Anyways, but yeah, congrats
Thanks.
on being clean for a month.
Okay, pet peeves.
I have many, but I would say it's also on me. A pet peeve of mine is when people are easily annoyed.
Ooh.
And it's also for me as well. I think being annoyed is a waste of energy and unnecessary and a lack of slowing down. And it makes me so angry. So like someone in line and is annoyed that the line isn't moving. Like,
Yeah.
okay, lady.
Yeah.
No, everyone else is also in this line. And I get so annoyed. Someone who gets easily annoyed that like, I don't know. It could be anything. Like they took 5 minutes extra to bring out the food. You're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That stuff
get
gets
it.
under my
So
skin.
I'm curious of what that reveals in you about you.
Oh, for sure.
Like
I'm okay. You want to go? You want to go there?
Yeah.
Fam.
Yeah.
Okay. I grew up feeling like my things were lesser than the things my mom was going through.
Yeah.
I know that's a big one.
Yeah.
But I also think it's like privilege and entitlement and just like
Yeah.
expecting your day to like serve you at your time
Yeah.
and schedule. Like chill out.
Yeah.
Okay? Like we're all in line.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
I'm sorry that your coffee is somewhat lukewarm. This
Totally.
person's running circles. Okay?
Totally. So for me, it's all ice chewing and any kind of chewing, and there are reasons for that. But it's like it could not be more painful to my soul.
And you've never chewed fruit snacks in here.
No, but
no.
I have gum all day, every day.
But
so.
gum's fine.
Okay.
I can kind of deal with that unless you're like chomp guy, then I'm angry. But if it's like crunch of like carrots
Yeah, I
and
can
things,
see that.
I kind of like have dry
My
heaves.
son was doing that the other day. I had to make him leave.
Yeah, I'm scarring my kids. I'm like, hey, you know what? Can you not eat your lunch?
Please don't
Can you
do
shut up because you're ugly right now? You know, just like.
So ASMR is out.
No,
Not your
it's not
thing.
my thing.
But I think drama really. So a lot with yours, like when
could be
somebody's
it.
like over dramatic about something, it does not need to be.
Yes.
Did you guys see the
okay.
meme the other day of the woman trying to rent a yacht?
Yes. That's
She's
the
like
kind
talking
of
to this
stuff.
girl, and she's like, I want to talk to the manager. And this girl literally does the stair step thing behind the counter
Yeah.
and goes down, then pops back up and says, hi, how can I help you? It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Please. He's losing it over here. But
Oh,
it's
it's so
like,
good.
It's that. Like
Yeah.
any kind of exaggerated response.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, you took up the whole space.
yeah.
Yep.
This
Drama-
is about you now.
Drama was not allowed in my house, really.
Oh.
So Hillary just kind of enlightened me about that because I'm like so pissed about some drama that went on in my house. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not happening. There's no need to go to this place. And so I like cut it off, like anger or drama. I just cut it right
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Right?
And I don't think that was like a really welcomed thing in my house, or maybe it was, and I didn't feel like it was.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
I've got
go.
two. People in airplanes who stand up as soon as you land.
Please.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Stop.
I'm already
Yes.
mad.
Like,
Even so, both ways.
Yeah.
Getting on the plane, like if you're a Southwest person and you're standing in your A32,
yeah,
like 10 minutes before the plane, why?
You have a mortal
What are
enemies
you?
list, don't
What
you?
are you doing? And then like we're all getting off the plane. Like you don't need to get your bag right now.
yeah,
Just stay seated. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then I just realized this when you said the chewing thing. I
Yeah.
realized I have one that I've never said out loud, but it's people,
I'm
and
nervous.
you guys are
Yep.
going to see this
Yep.
now.
Bald guys.
He's dodging
No,
eye
no.
contact. I'm just letting
No,
you
no,
know
no.
right now. He's not even
I don't think
looking at
either of you do
one
this.
us.
I
Yeah.
haven't noticed it. People who
To make sounds like that? Is that
No.
Okay.
people when you're talking mouth the words that you're saying.
Hey, what?
So
Yes, I know what you're talking
they're
about.
they're like watching you and listening to you, and then like mimicking the words coming out of your mouth.
What?
I don't even. I think it's involuntary.
You've both seen
Stop
this?
Yes, and it's like the mouth moves just a little bit,
No.
and then I'm just looking at your mouth like
I'm crying.
I can't even think about what I'm talking about because
I mean,
you're trying to say what I'm saying silently to yourself.
wait, give me an example of how that happens.
Like I'm just in
He
conversation.
just did it.
like,
And I'm talking, and then your mouth is moving with my mouth. Stop it.
but I'm trying to do it to see like
Yeah.
what this does for me as the listener. Am I trying to make you feel like I'm
I
listening
think
to
you're
you?
trying to, I don't even think you know it. I think you're just
Yes,
doing it like
yes.
you're internalizing it. and
I have a friend who does
and
that.
I'm
Really?
like, oh, it's a thing. And once I notice that you're doing it, then I'm really self-conscious. Did I change? Now am I being weird? Like, it's a whole
It's
thing.
true.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I don't think they know it.
They don't know it.
because
So I don't want to blame them for
I
it.
mentioned it to
No,
my
I feel like you're
friend.
doing great.
You did?
I was like,
how'd that
"Hey,
go?
You like shape the words you're either about to say or someone is saying." And she's like, "No, I don't." And ever since then, she'll randomly text me. It's been 10 years. I caught myself mumbling words. I'm like, yes, I know, because I don't know why, but you do this.
We need to have an expert on just about this.
Yeah. Well,
that'd be
Elias
good.
Dummer, we had the brain stuff, so I want maybe
Yeah.
there's some kind of brain.
We're going to dive deep into it.
What is
I want to get to the bottom of word mouthers.
It's true. Oh, boy. Here we go. Season 2. It's just going to be...
It's going to be great. What has your attention? It's gonna be nice.
Okay, enough dummery for one day.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be
I don't
back.
want it to end.
Okay, next question. Just kidding. Okay, so guys, we will see you, listen to you, you'll hear us, but we would love to hear from you
Yeah, we
as
would.
well. So we are trying to figure out how do we make this more of a community. Maybe it's Twitch.
Maybe it's Twitch. We're definitely active on our Instagram. You will catch us go live every
Yep.
once in a while.
Yeah,
Please
we're going to
head
start
over
going live more on Fridays.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the things we want to do. And just hear from you of things you're learning, struggling with, people that you admire, voices that you're hearing, curiosities. Yeah, so thank you. Thanks for supporting 10,000 Minutes.